Hey everyone, welcome back to the All Music Matters Than That podcast. I'm your host, Brian. Today, welcome some special guests and some more blokes out of the PA region right here. We got Malik and we got AJ from the band. And I'm sorry I pronounced it wrong here too, but I'm thinking Otrera.
Yep, Otrera, yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
So, I guess how you boys been recently? What's new?
Doing pretty good. We just dropped our first album here this past Saturday. So just kind of riding that high, finally having this project done and out to the world here. So things have been good.
After a year straight of just music every single second of every single day and trying to get those ideas that we know exist and transpose it into an actual composition was definitely hard. But we got there. We freaking did it. It took some time, a lot longer than I thought.
Just say somehow we made it. That ordeal.
Yeah. Somehow there was definitely somehow.
All right. And actually, how long have you guys been around? Because I guess I was checking out Spotify. I don't think I saw a good amount of material released, like some EPs and singles.
Yeah, so we met back in like 2022. So got together, we worked on our first EP, Polarity, after another project that we were working on together kind of fell through because I lost our drummer, but we decided to kind of stick around to keep making music together. So yeah, we dropped our first EP back in like 2022. So yeah, 3 years now we've been working together.
Yeah, a long 3 years. It's been cool. Been really easy drive, not too far from me, so everything worked out pretty perfect. I mean, and we pretty much met in the middle, so I'll take it.
It's funny. We actually met at All That Remains concert when they were doing the anniversary tour for the Fall of Ideals. So that's how we ended up meeting. So
H-Matt.
I guess what year was that? Because I saw them live. They were actually the one that kicked it off for Megadeth's concert. They were the first act, and then Mudvayne was the middle, and then Megadeth was the headliner. I guess, when was this?
I think that would have been, June? Like, I think somewhere between like summer of 22, I think it would have been. Yeah, they were doing that, I think it would have been 15 years of Fall of Ideals at that point, I think the tour was, but it was awesome. But
That show in general was just insane. It was crazy. And to be in like a capped room like that, there were so many people and the stairs were clogged and there's people listening from the stairs and that show was insane. We were up close though. We got up there. Definitely.
We got there early.
Oh, we were up there. We had to get up there. I forget who played before, but they killed it too. It was just such a fun show to be at. The atmosphere was amazing. Love it there.
That's why we think of Fall of Ideals, because it's the album everybody wants All That Remains to go back to. It's like the album that made them. So
That's so hard to do. You made it and everybody loves it so much, and then you're expected to make something equally as loved, but you already made it. So like, I don't feel like you're ever going to satisfy that. I feel like that's just a false expectation to be able to come out and just kill it again without changing something. Something's always got to change, otherwise it just won't progress at all. So I don't know. I think they're killing it, and they got a Jay Rich. I think they're in perfect hands.
Yeah, I would say it's almost like you always have to have the people that criticize it, but then at the same time, it's like we don't want to be a one-trick pony. So
yeah, and that's actually what we focused on when we were writing the album. Was like, okay, we're gonna do a bunch of different stuff that would probably go together if it was done well enough, and we just kind of took that idea and made it well enough to where it kind of flows together. So that was a big part of our writing process for sure.
There's one last thing about All That Remains. I actually made a nice little short where he does the scream that leads with 6. I keep wanting to say this calling, but no, it was 6. The opening scream he does right there.
Yeah, that's when I knew that we were going to do something together musically, because we met at the show, and then he was like, "Yeah, I do music too," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay, whatever. I've heard that before." And then we were listening to Six, and then like right out of nowhere, I just hear my ear get shredded by this crazy high, the highest shriek I've ever heard. And I was like, "Yeah, dude, I'll give you my number. I think we'll probably do something together. I'm good with that." I'll take that.
Just raise the hands. I give up. I give up.
Yep.
I was like, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the guy that probably should get together. And then when we did get together, we realized that we were both multi-instrumentalists across the whole board. So it was like now it's not only like a singer and a player. Now we have a drummer, a player, a guy who can play leads, bass. There's nothing that you can't do. It's just not ideal the way that we want to do it. We would love to have a trillion people in the band, but unfortunately, it's just not the way it's been for us.
Yep. Just been us two working. At this point right now, like for this album that we just put out here, I was doing all the guitars, the vocals, backing vocals, recorded all the drums for it too. So when I say it's a labor of love, it's more labor than love.
Tell them how you learn drums. Tell them how you learn drums.
Oh yeah, dude. So I first started learning how to play drums because of the game Rock Band. like I would always just play.
My man, I was the same way.
That was my first like introduction into playing drums, and I just loved it. And it took years of convincing my parents to get me a drum kit because they didn't think I'd actually play. Because I was already playing guitar at that point. Like, do you really need to learn how to play drums? But secretly, they didn't want it because it's so damn loud. But just constant pestering. Ended up getting drums for Christmas one year, and I remember the first album that I played on it, tried to play on it, was Avenged Sevenfold, City of Evil. That was the first CD that I popped up, and being like 14 years old, trying to replicate what the Rev was doing, I'm sure my parents were like, why the hell did we get him a drum kit? I'm sure it sounded terrible, but definitely have grown since then.
It's almost like, what have I done? It was like those sorts of moments right there. So, but I was the same way, but yeah, I'd have to beg my parents to give me a drum set. They just knew it was a lot more than just a fad after you're playing it for like so many years. I would say it was probably 5 years at that point. If I you just want your own drum set, and they give you an electric drum set, or I wasn't sure if you also had both an electric and acoustic set.
Oh yeah, I would say they got me a Pearl set to start off with, and then at some point I got myself an electric kit to kind of give them some reprieve, so they didn't have to hear me playing all the time.
I was like, thank God! I thought he was never going to stop playing. So, yeah, that's a cool story. And but to kick off actually this interview, first off, we honor Ozzy Osbourne, who has recently passed away.
Dude, that is so sad. That is beyond terrible. I mean, what a way to go out, but that is, I can't. It's still not real to me yet.
Yeah, just even with the time frame of him just playing his last show 2 weeks ago. This is my farewell, and then just kind of goes out. I mean, he went out with a bang essentially from what I've seen with that show too. So something only the Prince of Darkness could do.
And in the hometown, dude, that was so cool. And they raised all that money for charity too. On top of that, that was just the best way. I really don't think there's any other way that it was supposed to happen. I really don't.
Yeah, even though my dad was kind of laughing because he's like, these people are old. I mean, they're in their 70s. They're afflicted with something. So he always kept laughing. So,
right.
I'm like, Ozzy's going to go out on his own terms. And hey, he loves what he does. So what are you going to do?
For real. I mean, for all the stuff that he's done over the course of his career, I mean, he made it pretty far. He made it further than I would have guessed, especially if I was a doctor looking at it. But
I think every doctor was like, how are you still alive?
Now we only got
all the drugs. That's great. Definitely, I'm sure lived a good life. Legend.
That's for sure. So I guess before we jump into the questions and to, I guess to honor Ozzy's memory, I guess did you guys have a fond memory, or I guess how did you guys get into his music? I'm not sure if you guys were '90s kids.
Sweet Leaf, dude. Sweet Leaf riff is the craziest. Like, it's so slow, but I also want to assault somebody. It's such a great riff. I mean, I could say any Ozzy riff, honestly, but like that song in particular, and being a Sabbath song, just is a perfect storm of what came to be.
Yeah, I think the first one that I heard by Black Sabbath was War Pigs. I remember, I think I was probably driving to like baseball practice with my dad, and he had it on. I was like, "Dang, this is sweet." But yeah, that was my first memory of Ozzy for sure, was War Pigs. And I was like, "Man, this is metal. Like, okay, I can get into this."
I'd say I was sort of the same way, though I didn't cuss. And I was like, you cussing then? Oh man, mommy teach you any manners. So, but serious, it actually was my dad. Maybe the same way when they just listening to songs, for instance. Hear things like Iron Man, definitely War Pigs.
Iron Maiden, Run to the Hills, dude.
Oh yeah,
dude, so good. Every single time, it's just like the same reaction. Or 2 Minutes to Midnight. That is another just straight up thrasher. Anyways,
I would say I do have more respect for the longer songs, with the seventh song of the seventh song, and then Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner from Iron Maiden. So, of course, that's the thing when they also play it on the radio too. So,
for sure.
All right.
That song is crazy. 7 minutes. That's insane. Like, even know that much and put all the changes together is so crazy. Let alone not having like timing technology and stuff. And yeah, long songs are great.
We did it with analog back in the day, so yeah, you know how they roll. So, all right, but rest in peace, Ozzy. Wait for us on the other side. So, all right. Now, boys, welcome to my podcast. And the way it's going to work is I just want to ask you guys some questions. I want to get to know you more both as the musicians and as the individuals as well here, too. So, got some fellow Pennsylvania boys since I'm out of the Pittsburgh region here, too. So, let's get to know each other a little bit more. So, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, Malik, I guess you can start here, too, because I'm guessing, were you the one that formed Otrera at one point?
Yeah, so pretty much when me and AJ got together, we, like I said, we had that side project that we were working on with his friend that was the drummer at the time. But after the drummer was like, "Oh, I can't really fit this into my schedule at this point," we decided to keep working together. So, yeah, I was just looking for a name, like trying to come up with a name of what we were doing, and I've always been into like the Greek mythology kind of stuff, and I was just looking through different like gods and goddesses to use, and sent him Otrera. I was like, "What do you think of this?" And he was like, "Oh, it's pretty badass. We could go with that." And that's essentially just how we came up with the name for it.
I mean, it was either that or it was some crazy Latin word afterwards. I was going to be like, "What the hell are you guys talking about?"
Right. I didn't want to do anything too obscure, but Otrera seemed like it fit pretty nice. And first goddess of the Amazons is pretty metal, so
that's so metal, man. All right,
that's like some typo negative metal.
I don't know. I think we had to make some depressive music then. That's why I had to be typo negative at that point.
Yeah, for real.
Well,
we do a bunch of happy, which is interesting.
The mood is always sad, even though we are in a happy mood. So,
yeah, it's been like that. We've had to revise some stuff. Just like, dude, this is happy, dude. This is too happy. We need to make it more sad. Like, we need to bring it down.
All right. But delve into the first question here, Malik. I guess, how did you become a musician? I guess, what's your role in the group?
Yeah, so I started playing guitar, probably like 8 or 9 years old. My mom wanted me to play piano initially, so I do know like a little bit of piano, but then she wanted me to like join the school band. I was like, I don't know, I want to do something a little bit more cooler. Like, I'd rather play like guitar or something. So ended up getting me like a little guitar for Christmas the one year, and started taking lessons. And just haven't looked back since. So I turned 30 this October, so over 20 years I've been playing guitar at this point. So definitely keeps me sane and challenges me a lot here too. So yeah, that's how I got into it.
Good therapy. So yeah. And I guess what years was the rock band? Was it during high school when you got into it?
Yeah, so like I was just in like I think 7th or 8th grade when Rock Band like first came out. So I had the first one and was just drumming away, and that's where I was like, I need to learn how to play the actual drums. And then when my 4-year-long binge of asking for a kit until it finally happened, and and ended up being just pretty much self-taught on the drums, just trying to model a lot of what I do off of some of my favorite drummers. Like Matt Greiner is by far and away one of my biggest influences on the drums, from August Burns Red, also Pennsylvania band, love them to death.
Yes,
But it was mainly Matt Greiner. The Rev from Avenged Sevenfold was another big influence there too. And then I also liked Rush, so just even listen to like Neil Peart stuff too always just blew my mind.
Well, of course, you have to get the professor involved in some way. So yeah. So actually, did you start off with the guitar and then progressed your way over to drums, or did you go right to the drum sets?
No, so I started off with guitar and then progressed to the drums and threw the bass in there for a little bit too. But yeah, guitar was my first love, so to say.
At that time, we were thinking chicks take the guitar players. So yeah. So, all right. And I guess AJ, what's your role, and I guess what's your story?
So I play bass. I bring ideas, and we kind of make those ideas work together. Like, I have this part and this part, but I don't know how to make it go together. So we'll sit together and usually try to bridge those pathways. But I started playing guitar. I had no business to clown you about the Rock Band thing, because I started playing guitar because of Guitar Hero 2. When I didn't even, my dad had a PlayStation 2, and he was like, oh, check this thing out. And I was like, all right, word. And I was playing it, and everything was so difficult, but I was like, I can't believe people do this in real life. Like, there's no way. And then, like, I started looking at videos of people doing it, and then Guitar Hero 3 came out, and I was a little bit older, and I can comprehend more, and that game was just full of absolute slammers from all over the place. I mean, Killswitch Engage, Lamb of God, In Flames, anything you can imagine. So I was like, yeah, I think I got to learn how to do that. So I also had to binge ask my parents, because they were like, there's no way you're serious about it. And I was like, no, I think I'm good. Like, I think I'm going to be all right at it. And then finally they gave in. They're like, okay, I'd rather just hear you not talk about it. And I was actually brought up around Southern rock and Southern stuff like that. But I started to bridge that weird gap where, like, Pantera was a thing for me. They were like a weird Southern metal band, and they're doing dive bombs. I'm like, oh, what's that? And then it just spreads from there into everything that is today. And then actually, right around 13, Avenged Sevenfold 2, just add on to Malik, because I definitely got to give a second Heartache its props.
Oh.
That was the first song that I heard that really got, like, this is, like, hard. Like, this is harsh and hard and fast, and it doesn't matter what the sound is, you're going to like it. Every time they play it, sounds a little bit different, but same result to my brain every single time. Never a bad time with them.
R.I.P. to the Rev. So,
That is such a tragic thing, and you got to think about what people like him could do with the technology today. Is what really sucks, because I can't even imagine them just changing the world over and over again. Just innovation.
There's a song I always think of. It was actually not from City Evil. I think it was their self-titled album, the one with A Little Piece of Heaven.
Oh yeah.
So
Is that Portnoy on drums?
No, that was still the Rev. Portnoy didn't come on until Nightmare.
Oh, Nightmare, that's the one with the him buried.
Yeah, but even with like A Little Piece of Heaven, like there's something about like the Rev's vocals on that track that just make me giggle every time. It's goofy, but it just sounds so good.
We did listen to that a bunch.
Must have stabbed her 50 fucking times. I can't believe it. Ripped her heart out right before her eyes. I'm over easy. Or something like that. It's not like it was kind of referencing to like an egg, for instance, we do over easy or something. So, at least that's what I think. So, but eat it. So,
This is so good.
I think I forget the one guitar player's name, but I think he was also doing some vocals, so he was the one you hear like, "Come here, you fucking bitch."
Oh yeah, that's probably Sin.
Yeah. Buddy guys, gotta love them there too. So, all right. So I guess let's go jump more to Otrera. I think we did cover a good bit already. So I guess Malik. So it seems like you guys met at a concert. All that remains. You had to share metal and everything here too. But it seems like you were in one project at one point, and it seemed like COVID kind of put that one to bed, and then that's how Otrera came around.
Yeah, so our drummer that we were working with at the time, he ended up he wanted to do like more pop punk stuff, and then he ended up having a kid like a year later. So that also will throw a wrench in things musically. I mean, got to put family first, so understandable. But yeah, as met at the show, then I was initially just doing vocals when we were doing our first project, and then I showed AJ some of the stuff that I was working on with guitar, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, you can do guitar now."
It's not my instrument anymore.
Yeah, dude, just take it from me, dude. That's exactly what happened. That's literally what happened. I was like, I'm not worthy. Here you go, dude.
So in other words, we blame the drummer for the whole situation that kind of got us to this point. So
it was gonna happen either way, to be honest. We kind of had that pact from the beginning that like no matter what happens, like we're gonna have a 2-person thing, even if that means we gotta do a little extra work. And so we would have probably stayed together, but definitely was not expecting the whole dropout of a drummer. Definitely added a little bit more stress to writing parts and getting everything to fit. And stuff we didn't usually really have to think about before were really coming to play, and some of that stuff we had to work out, and some of that stuff was already there, so it was just another learning process for us.
Yeah, I guess this could probably tie with COVID here too, but so it seemed like you guys officially formed or maybe released your first material under Otrera in 22?
Yeah, so it would have been 22. I honestly don't even remember the month or anything that came out. I just know that first project that we did, I mean, we put it together pretty quick. I think it only took us about 3 to 4 months to write that first EP. The only reason why it got done as quick as it did, we had a couple just all-nighters where we were up till about like maybe 2 or 3 in the morning just straight up writing music.
Yeah.
And there was one point where the bass was hitting too hard on the one song that it actually caused my light fixture in the basement to come loose and just came crashing down.
My bad. The monitor was a little high, I do confess.
Oh, well, that was funny. But yeah, we actually got that project done pretty quick. I would have, looking back at it, I mean, so essentially we do everything in-house ourselves, like except for like the album artwork. So like I do like the mixing and AJ will do the mastering. So like a lot of it is just kind of self-taught kind of stuff. So like looking back at our previous projects, definitely things I wish we would have done differently as far as the mix goes. But I mean, with each project we're putting out, it's getting better and more kind of professional sounding as we go along. So definitely a lot of learning curves. But I mean, the process has been fun and definitely helped grow as a musician, learning the hard way, essentially.
And at one point, we just had the conversation where it was like, hey, we just have to kind of step it up, and we got to do a little bit better. We got to study a little bit more in different areas that we feel like we're lacking. And then from that point on, we were kind of on the same page, like, yeah, we think that is probably the best idea. And we kind of just started studying our own different little niches of stuff that the other person wasn't doing, and then we just got to the point it is now, to the point where we thought that it was good enough to throw 30 minutes out there and call it an album.
Yeah. As the saying goes, we live and we learn.
Yeah. Everything's been getting better, so that's the only thing that's matters to me, honestly, is it just keeps improving.
I guess still sticking with COVID, I guess. How bad was it for you guys personally, family-wise? I guess if you want to throw anything else music-wise, I don't know if it was just Otrera you guys were working on during the COVID period.
COVID was interesting. At that point, I was working from home. I was working in the mental health field at that point. So I was still working at home for like a little bit. Then I transitioned to another job and was actually going into people's houses doing like family-based therapy, things like that. So definitely was interesting trying to navigate that whole thing. But while I was still working at home, it gave me a lot of time to work on new music and listen to new stuff. So that definitely was a positive I could take from it. But other than that, it was kind of bunk. Not gonna lie.
I guess AJ, how bad was COVID for you personally, family-wise, music-wise, and anything else really?
So family-wise wasn't bad. Working for me, it ended up closing. I was working for a small business doing security installations for like anywhere that basically just wanted cameras or different types of security. So when people would stop going to work and doing that, they would stop paying. And then essentially all the contracts would go upside down, and that place just ended up going out of business. So I had to get on unemployment while I try to find something in this niche field. And while I'm doing that, I'm just spending every waking moment just plowing my guitar, just trying to find out what I want to do. Like, this is like such a great point where I'm able to have the time to actually sit down and figure out what I want to do and play stuff that's just by myself and not covering songs, just me on guitar, and where do I naturally like to go, and where do I go to find somebody who would benefit what I like to play as well. But that's exactly how it happened. I think it was it was not long. It was not long when we met.
Yeah, I think like right when we went, like things were dying down quite a bit, like as far as a lot of the restrictions that the venues and stuff were having. So
because I was able to go to the Tool concert, because the weekend, like right up to the day of the Tool concert, I wasn't able to go because I wasn't vaccinated. And then Wells Fargo was like, "No, never mind, we don't care." And then I was like, "Yes, we're going!" I was so happy. The only thing I wanted to go, we had club seats, and I just wanted to see Tool just one time. That's it. And it almost didn't happen, and I was so upset.
I guess it is to keep the phones away, because it seems like Maynard doesn't like it when you bring out the phones to record.
Dude, I was with my dad. My dad, he is so funny. It's like the one band he wants to see, and my old man, he's just plastered, taking videos with his flashlight on, getting yelled at by security, and we're about to get kicked out. And I'm like, this is like the Tool experience that I want.
Oh, he's gonna love hearing you play
this. I expected this. I didn't even tell him his flashlight was on. I was just like, let him have it, man. Give it to him. And some old security guard kept harassing. It was the funniest thing ever. I can't. But
I thought this was like a delve into. I thought it was going to be like something like a "please God kill me" moment. That's their deal.
They were like, okay, we're gonna give you like one more time. Like, we should be kicking you out like on first time, but like since you're paying for the club and stuff like that, like we're gonna do you good by like one warning. And I was like, all right, pops, I need to see that phone real quick. And then it got stashed away for the night until we left for directions back to the hotel. But yeah, that concert was awesome. Seeing Maynard was awesome. He didn't hide from it either. That was sick.
Yeah, you see Maynard still doing them kicks up in the air. Is that what he was doing?
Yeah, he was doing a bunch of wild stuff. It was it was an interesting experience because it is like people say it is, but there's other ways that make it its own weird little thing. Like, I don't know, it's its own thing for sure. There's nothing like a Tool concert. There's no replication of it.
I mean, it's like he either comes out dressed like a transvestite or like he just something like this Southern. I don't want to say Southern Baptist. I think it's more Southern evangelical. Like, y'all check Satan.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Especially depends on who they're touring with. There's I forget what that tour was, honestly. But I know it's for Fear Inoculum, so it wasn't anything like crazy. Like, I got to hear some cool Tool songs, but I didn't get to hear like all the cool Tool songs. So other than that, it was a great little experience. Especially since I don't go to stadium concerts, I'm always going to local stuff. So actually being in a place that like fits more than 500 people was kind of crazy. But I guess at one point, you just got to do it.
We're going there. Fuck it, that old deal.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But on a serious note, were you guys okay? Were you and your families all good and everything?
Yeah, my family was good. I had COVID for a little bit there. It was more annoying than anything for me, so it wasn't too bad, thankfully. But mom had it for a little bit, and she was dealing with some stuff afterwards, but she's all good now. So luckily, there didn't have any loss like I know a lot of people that did during that time. So thankfully, everything was all kosher there, all good.
AJ, were you the same way?
Yeah, I didn't thankfully when we started getting laid off, I didn't really have to worry about anything. I was just at home kind of doing my own thing. I have a grocery store, like a local grocery store, so I didn't have to worry about going to Walmart and everybody fighting for everything. So it wasn't like a mad rush. It was just a chill little experience. Definitely kind of weird not like having everybody go everywhere and not seeing normal traffic and people, but other than that, health-wise, everything was pretty chill. I don't think that we got it. If we did, we were definitely asymptomatic because I don't remember like having any gut-wrenching system or reactions to anything. So thankfully, we missed that one. So I'll take that as a W.
I mean, in this case, we just say it was just a cold. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Now it is what's the difference? But yeah, thankfully we were chilling.
That's for sure. So good to see you guys are doing well, and good to see you guys.
Thank you.
Out here and enjoying the ride too, especially with the new album we just came out. So
yes.
I guess speaking of which, I guess let's go and talk about the new album. All I Have Left. So I guess who wants to do the honor?
Go ahead, Malik.
All right, yeah. So All I Have Left. Titled the album after the last track, the title track, All I Have Left. Essentially, it was just kind of like me stating this is all I have left to give to this music thing. I mean, obviously, I do still have some stuff in the tank, and we're already talking about working on our next project, but it just kind of perfectly encapsulated how I've been feeling over the last year and the amount of effort and everything else. It just kind of felt like throughout this whole process, I was giving all I have left into it. So it's essentially just like saying, yeah, the guy, I strained the hell out of myself during this.
Just remember the heart right here. Be like, here, take it.
Pretty much, dude. That could have been a sick cover.
Oh, yeah, true.
I mean, it kind of look like a heaven and hell sort of situation going on there too.
Yeah, so we got a guy on Fiverr that we had paid to do the album art, and he did a phenomenal job on it. But yeah, it was kind of like the mindset that I had, like going into it, like trying to visualize essentially what the album's about. Because the second to last song, "Follow Me," when I was writing the lyrics for that, I felt really inspired by Dante's Divine Comedy, essentially, and just kind of doing that journey that he's going through in the book, basically like going through heaven, hell, purgatory, and all that stuff. And so the lyrics on that were pretty much based on Divine Comedy, and then kind of looking back at what I've written so far, it was like, oh, I'm kind of seeing a pattern like throughout like the lyrical content of what I already have, like how it kind of all fits into this like divine comedy kind of 3 sections kind of deals. Like, okay, like, yeah, having the dude like caught in between like the heaven and hell part, like in purgatory, kind of seemed like a cool visualization for me. But yeah, like the descent and punishment and the kingdom are like kind of all just hell. They're the heaviest songs on the album, so it's just kind of really just driving it home that hell part. And visions and portraits are more like self-reflective, kind of purgatory, looking back at like past mistakes and wanting to become better and trying to look for more of that positive kind of vibe, especially more in visions. And then the last 3 songs, Paradise, Follow Me, and All I Have Left, are kind of more of that heaven, for more focused on love kind of vibe. So like to try to tell a story with stuff I write a little bit.
As you know, it was kind of like describing how Constantine, he kind of sacrifices himself near the end there, but it gets him that nice little trip to heaven. He just seemed to go like right to devil and everything. That's kind of like what it's going through with the like how the album concept actually is. So what do you think about it? So yeah, so that's pretty cool. I guess on your previous material, I guess, did you always try to tell a story, or was it more like just whatever came to mind?
No, so yeah, even for our last EPs, like Polarity and then As Above, So Below, like Polarity, that was mainly dealing with like the ups and downs of dealing with depression. So like the same kind of vibe with that song, and like with that EP, it kind of like progresses. So like the first 2 songs on that EP are more like dark, really kind of dealing with that inner turmoil and like those more depressive feelings. But then the last 2 songs, Conquer and Prevail, are like kind of breaking through that shroud of darkness and seeing that like glimmer of hope. So that's kind of the story I was telling with Polarity. And then As Above, So Below, I went a way darker route for this one. I think I was watching too much Supernatural or something. I don't know. Like a lot of demon shit. So like that one was kind of like, it's all based on like, it's either anti-government or just straight up like anti-establishment, anti-religion kind of thing I was going with there. It's just really just pulling all the hate out.
I'm upset at something, but I don't know what it is. So I'm upset at everything.
Yeah, it was pretty much, yeah, especially like the whole concept of like the hermetic principles and As Above, So Below, like what is on earth is the same in heaven and hell kind of thing. Just going off that whole vibe.
It was almost like I hate everyone equally when it comes to As Above, So Below.
Yeah, it was like everybody gets one. We're into the mountain, everybody's getting one.
Yeah, because it was funny when we started writing for that one too. Like we're just like, yeah, let's just do something that's just stupid heavy. Like, like the riffs were there, and then I always just write the lyrics after like music's like pretty much completely done. So at that point, I was like, all right, what's some dark stuff that I can just write and got into that vibe, and that's how that EP was born.
So I thought it was like AJ just tapping me on the back, be like, "Okay, Malik, let it all right here. Let's do something right here. Just get that nice little blood flow and everything."
I was literally like, whatever you want to slam about, let's slam about it. So we would go on the drum kit and we would just play simple beats and just write the craziest breakdown that we could over simple stuff. And then over time, just add to it and add to it and add to it. Like we should do a little bit of this here, a little bit of this here, hold the bass here, do more inclusive bass stuff here. Or we have stuff like Paradise where there's no bass at all just because it sounds great. It's just a beautiful song as it is. And then other than that, we already we just kind of like what's the vibe? Oh, we want to write like a post-hardcore kind of thing. So I would think about all the post-hardcore songs that I would know and all the bass lines and all the common patterns and try to link that with like all the low heavy stuff that shouldn't really go together, but if you do it correctly, it could go together. So there was a lot of this could happen if we do it right. There was a whole lot of that, and we would just kind of tweak it a little bit until it got to the point where it was just smooth transition and finally get to the end of like 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and then we're like, all right, on to the next. Yep. It's like a load off your shoulders and then like a whole nother weight at the same time. It's like 1 out of 8. Heck yeah, let's go. But yeah.
If I would call it quits after the first one, they would there be like, okay, that's enough for today. So, yeah.
if we made it through doing the first one, then we can do anything. I might be able to climb Everest, I think. The first one was hard. The first one was just so many still learning about each other. So we're still learning influences that each other likes. So we don't really have a direction that we want to go. We're just playing stuff from bands that we know that we have in common. And then we're kind of honing in on what do they have in common that we like. And then we're taking that idea and then expanding on it how we would think that either the artist would do it if they had to do like a B-side to it, or like they're only stuck with that idea, or we would take that idea, apply it to different keys and see if it works and what notes we can change to make it have exactly what we had envisioned and not just settle for a generic riff or something like that. Like every note is specifically on the new album is directly placed to have its own effect on the listener. So we wrote it with a lot of intent. I will say that.
That is for sure.
We should almost say malicious intent. So something like that.
It feels like it to a point. Honestly.
Yeah, there's a couple that do contain malicious intent. I mean, that is definitely a thing.
Yeah, Punishment's definitely one of those. The breakdown on that song alone and just the lyrical content of that, I mean, that one's just about torture, essentially. So it was kind of torture writing it.
Yeah, I was a slammy boy. For sure.
Actually, I thought we were talking about some sort of action that we were saving for later. But I know we talked a little bit about influences earlier, but I guess when you guys were writing All I Have Left, I guess, who were you kind of looking for, or I guess, who really influenced the sound on that album? And I guess for the future works, I guess, who are you guys studying to kind of influence that sound?
So one of my biggest influences, and they have been for years now, is August Burns Red. Like, honestly, like those are just like one of the nicest group of guys who are just all talented. Every single person in that band has just immense talent. So I mean, I've seen them over like 25 times. So they're by far and away my favorite band, and they have a huge influence. And the opening song to The Descent, like I feel like you can really hear the influence on that, especially with the clean kind of bridge there, the spoken word. I mean, that was like essentially really internal canon by them with the way that they do the clean break there. So definitely August Burns Red had a lot of influence, at least for me, with writing. And then like some of the other songs, like the softer ones, I was listening to a lot of like indie math rock kind of stuff where they do like weird tunings. Like, so both Paradise and All I Have Left are written in this weird open F tuning that doesn't make any sense. So like so just Delta Sleep shirt that I'm wearing right now, they're actually a really big influence too. Like their drummer, he actually just left the band a couple weeks ago. He was one of my favorites too, but I've seen them about like 5 times over the last 2 to 3 years. So like they've been huge influence as far as what they do with their chord progressions and different time signatures that they're able to incorporate, and just those tempo shifts, and even some of the fills that Blake was doing on the latest album too was really influential.
And I wasn't sure, AJ. I think you mentioned a couple of influences earlier. I guess who really kind of influences like your play style on All I Have Left, and I guess any future releases?
That's a great question. I mean, Malik knows that I'm going to say Counterparts already.
Oh, yeah, we did have a Counterpart.
He already knows I'm going to say Counterparts.
Yeah.
I listened to, I don't know, I was really caught in that older style of like melodic hardcore where the melodies were there and it was still raging and fast and everything was D-beating. But I know that wasn't what our band necessarily was. So it was kind of, how do I take the melodic part of that and apply it to the drumming of stuff that I usually don't play to, or odd time signatures, or writing some of the bass lines. I know there's a couple bass lines that we went into the studio and we played it for like one day, and it was like, that's the one. Like, there's no other notes that need to be played. Like, that's just like, that was beautiful. Yep, we're calling it at that. And they ended up being part of the single releases. So honestly, we had mostly the same influences going into it. That was definitely a pre-album talk. Like, what are we trying to go for? Okay, we're trying to go for like older metalcore thing, so like an ABR thing, a melodic side of things. We're thinking a lot of the counterparts things, a lot of indie metal. Like he said, he likes a lot of independent music, so we were definitely using like jazzier stuff. I mean, comparable to, even I'd say you could get close to even saying we use like dance chords on a couple of them. Honestly. When I mean, I don't think at that point. I was thinking about that this morning actually, but it was just we love all these bands, and together we love all these bands. How are we going to take our love for all these bands and put them together? There's a way that it's going to fit. We just don't know how it's going to go. And we basically just sit there and hammer at it until eventually hammer at it enough and it becomes a mold. You just knock it down until it becomes what you want. And then next thing you know, you're inspired from doing the first song, or there's an idea that you had to cut from the second song because it didn't quite fit. That becomes its own song. And then you could end up doing 3 songs in a day. I mean, if you're really in it, if you're really in the pocket and you're feeling it, there's so much stuff to do. There's so much.
I mean, you were also saying about your all-nighters, like what we mentioned earlier. So it's almost like, were you guys checked up on Monster coffee or Coca-Cola?
Oh, yeah, no, we were on some Reigns, the 300 milligram bad boys.
I was running on pure wanting to get this freaking album done. I was running on pure let's go. I'm ready to go.
I just remember there was one night where it was like 3:30 in the morning and I'm still just like plugging away, and I just look over and he's like hanging over like dead, and I was like, it's like I think it's about time we wrap this up. I don't think we can get anything more productive.
Yeah, the 3:34's night were definitely one of the harder ones, because at that point it's almost like you don't want to go down the same rabbit hole multiple times at one night and be counterproductive, but it's such an easy thing to do because it's just tweaking the same thing, and like, do I really like that, or do I want to change it a little bit? And then maybe I like the version I did 5 times ago, so I go back to doing that, and then I realized I didn't even like that either, so why did I even try that? And then hours become days and days become months, and then I turn into a caveman, and yeah, just kind of goes downhill from there, honestly.
Big more a hermit if anything these days. So he's his club, then he's a caveman. That's the thing. So, actually, I just picture him probably doing like an adrenaline shot, just stab it right in the chest.
Dude, there were some times where I was like, dude, I think I might fall asleep. Like, I'm sitting down in the chair and he's recording, he's doing his vocals, so he's running his own booth, and I'm just sitting there slouched like this. Like, I think this might be it. I might be checking out. Like, I just keep getting lower and lower and lower, and then pick myself up. I'm like, yeah, man, that was good. And then I'll listen to it and don't even remember doing it because I'm just blackout tired. So that's cool. But turned out okay, I guess. We tried not to do it a whole lot because we knew that would be a situation going into it. But definitely doing the 2-man thing was required for sure.
So I thought Malik would just be walking and be like...
No, there gets to a point where I just start playing like meme stuff to see if he's even still living. Like, I'll sit there and play the SpongeBob like song just to try to catch his attention.
Yeah. So that's cool. So I guess you guys got any new material in the works right now? Do you think it might be a release this year, or is it something for next year?
So we were talking about going heavier for our next project. It seems like every other project we do, it just like we put out one thing, it's just like your typical metalcore thing, and then the next thing we do is just slam like heavy as hell. So we're already talking about switching to 7 strings for this next project, playing some stuff in like drop F sharp, just really just bringing out the gent for this next one.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. We were bouncing between a couple ideas, but it just came back to, dude, let's lock up those noise gates and just give it back to the world. And we can't listen to bands like Volumes and like
Periphery.
And not play like stuff like that. Like that. Come on, we're not posers. What are we doing? We're just gonna have a headache writing it. It's fine, but it'll happen.
Actually, you mentioned about counterparts earlier. I'm thinking that Prophet's album, that was probably the best one they ever did. But I lost interest afterwards. I feel so bad. I lost interest with them afterwards.
Oh, we've seen them. We've both seen them. I think at least 4 times over the last year. Like just a couple months ago, we saw them up in New York, and they just announced another tour. I think we're going to be going to.
And I bought tickets to already on pre-sale for no reason. I had the freaking message for 2 minutes before I was like, I need these tickets. I'm buying them. And then I literally bought them with Jev. And then we're like, all right, we're going. But I think that lineup also has Throne, which is a band that I've been like ducking. Well, I haven't been ducking, but they've been ducking me. They've been playing some pretty venues. And I'm like, I'm not going to that. But they're finally coming to one. And I'm like, yeah, I think we're going to that. It's in Philly. I don't even know where it's at. I just bought the tickets. Don't ask me.
Yeah, Counterparts definitely is a big influence too. Like their guitar work and the riffs that they write are crazy, and Kyle is just the next level drummer. And then of course you have Brendan Murphy, who's just a fucking comedian when he's on.
Yeah, a clown. I just say an absolute clown, dude.
His vocal style is definitely something that I incorporated a bit here on Portraits too. So definitely drew our Counterparts influence on that track specifically.
I would say you didn't actually take any choir when you were in school. I guess you just learned to scream and sing on your own.
No, so I actually did do chorus throughout like middle school and part of high school. So I did have like more of a formal singing background. And then when I was actually up at Temple at school, I was working at the UPS down at the Philly airport, and they'd have me up in like the warehouse all by myself, and I'm just like, I'm gonna practice screaming. It's so loud in here, nobody's gonna be able to hear me, so I'll just be a psycho screaming these songs to myself in the warehouse. So that's actually how I like started practicing working on my screams, and like with it being so loud in there, I was like, okay, like once I start to feel a strain, I know I'm not doing it right. So I was just kind of teaching myself how to do it without putting that extra strain and completely screwing up my vocal cords.
That explains that. So, all right. You're doing a good job there, Malik. I'll give you credit there. So, this question actually does kind of go back to COVID in a little bit of a way, but more so the music scene in around your neck of the woods. So, are you guys close to Philly, or are you closer to Harrisburg?
We're closer to Harrisburg. Yeah, I'm about like 15 minutes from Harrisburg. I think he's maybe like 30 from Harrisburg. So yeah, we're closer to Harrisburg, but we go down to Philly for shows all the time.
I guess just in around Harrisburg, and I guess any parts of Philly that you go to, I guess, how's the music scene been from your perspective?
Harrisburg's been okay. They've actually been surprising me here over the last couple of years with some of the bands that they've been able to bring in. Like we saw All That Remains down in Harrisburg. I know ABR's played there. We saw Veil Maya, Reflection. So like a lot of like good, like more like heavy bands have been coming through Harrisburg, which has been a nice surprise. Like I know when Devil Wears Prada did that metalcore Dropout show, they actually came through Harrisburg for that one leg of the tour too. So HMAC has been actually getting some pretty decent bands coming through. So that makes it a lot better than having to take the 1.5-hour drive down to Philly for most of the shows. But Philly's music scene is usually pretty good. They have a great hardcore scene. Like Philly loves hardcore, so those shows are always fun.
And you can't forget about the good old love drives. I mean, not anymore. They haven't really been throwing out heaters, but for a second there, they were just every week, and I felt like I was going down there to watch some absolutely crazy thing. Like when we saw Miss May I down there with In Heart's Wake, that was crazy to see In Heart's Wake finally, like after forever for the first time. And he went crowd surfing in a little freaking cardboard box. That was pretty sick. That was sick. That was probably only like a 45-minute drive. And then we have a reverb too in Reading. So there's like a couple weird things that will slide through there. Like I know Chaos and Carnage like always rips through there and goes. I saw Volumes there, Burials there. Yeah, we've seen a bunch of stuff at Reverb too. So there's been a whole bunch of stuff popping off pretty close. And then just as far as we are from Philly, we are from like Baltimore area too. So we have just access to, feels like, unlimited everything. Like if there's a show happening, like we'll make it. Like there's a day that we can go, like, oh, it's on a weekday, then we'll just go to the Baltimore day. It's on a Friday. Easy as that. We're out. So that's pretty sick. I do like.
I was going to ask, are you guys still trying to recruit a drummer? Or I guess what are you guys trying to do there? Are you just going to try to roll with being a two-piece going forward for any shows?
Yeah, I mean, we're still trying to figure that part out. I haven't really made it easy to find a drummer with some of the stuff that I've been writing. So that hasn't been the most helpful. So at this point, I don't know if a drummer pops up that can hang, and then yeah, we're definitely open to it because we are looking to try to play live here if possible. But at this point, we're cool with just writing and putting out stuff that we dig. But ideally, we would like to get out there and have the full band and get it done.
Because we're starting to jam with other people too. It's just not it's not as technically forward as our stuff is. So it's like the ability to play live is there, but it's not our stuff necessarily. It's stuff that not other people wrote, but other band members wrote. So it's like not the same as it would be playing the Otrera stuff live. It wouldn't hit as close to home and putting in all the work on the songs and stuff, but it's still fun to go out there and play live and be a goober. But it would be cool to play some Otrera stuff out there for sure. But we know a bunch of bands that are stuck in the whole two-man situation, so it's just an endless cycle.
But it seems like you have to find the 2 + 2 = 1.
Yeah, that would be great.
That'd be ideal. If they came together as a package, sick, dude. That'd be absolutely awesome. I'd probably say yes right away. You don't even have to come over, bro. Just be ready to
Let's see. So, all right. We gave up the music scene, the boys. Let's keep it rolling. So, it's good to see it's at least making a comeback. So,
yeah.
I guess what sort of venues, or I guess what's there to actually see in around Harrisburg and I guess some of those spots you've seen in Philly? I guess those venues.
Yeah, so a lot of like the venues down in Harrisburg, we got like HMAC and Love Drafts. Well, Love Drafts is kind of like a what would you say, 250, 300 max venue?
The one in Harrisburg?
No, the one in Mechanicsburg with Carla.
I don't know, but they just changed locations too.
Oh, okay. So I wasn't aware of it. But like HMAC, that's maybe about like a 500 cap, maybe.
Yeah, something insanely small that when a band like Texas in July comes on and everyone starts jumping and people are breaking their legs, the floor feels like it's going to fall through.
Oh yeah, you can literally feel
that was a memorable moment, HMAC moment for sure.
Yeah, so that's what we got in Harrisburg. As far as like the venues down in Philly, I mean, the old Electric Factory, I forget what they renamed it to. I've been calling it the Electric Factory since like 2010. I know they renamed it, but that place is a sweat box. Oh my gosh, it's like a decent sized venue, but like there is no ventilation in there at all. Like we saw Knocked Loose there last year, and as soon as you walk through the door, you're just tripping. Like
that's how HMAC was for Dayseeker on Friday because the AC was broken, they said, dude. And I was in the mosh pit dripping sweat down everywhere, bro. And I'm like, what is this? What's happening right now? Like, I didn't take anything. I didn't do anything. Like, I was hanging out and I was just sweating. And they're like, oh, yeah, our AC's broken. I'm like, great, dude. They didn't have any of the doors open, nothing, dude. Everyone was just dying in there.
But yeah, some of the other venues in Philly, they're usually pretty good. There's this one venue I went to that they put a lot of hardcore shows on it, but it's actually in the basement of a church, and it's crazy.
Church.
Yeah, it's just doing this hardcore in the basement of a church is not what you expect at all, and it's just like so intimate. I think you can only fit maybe like 100 people in there, and like that's tight, but like it's
and they're playing on the ground too. They're stage.
No barricades, just straight up like in your face, like.
You might get hit by a guitar. Like if I was playing up there, I throw myself. So someone is definitely getting assaulted on accident. Please don't sue me. I don't have anything. I play music. Leave me alone.
It's a metal church in the house of the Lord. In that case.
Yeah, pretty much.
It is, dude. It is a slammy place, dude. Stuff happens there for sure. That's where you go if you want to get hit with the trash can. Memes, yeah, that's where you go. You go to the church.
Actually, there was a sort of a similar situation. It's called Preserving Underground up there in New Kensington, close to my neck of the woods. And it's mainly on the main floor, but you kind of walk in. It's got like a long rectangular sort of size. It felt like it fit 200 to 300 people, maybe a little more. I wasn't sure. It was a good crowd. Saw Between the Buried and Me there. So.
Oh, Malik, tell him right now. Do it.
Oh, dude. So last time I saw Between the Buried and Me, it was August Burns Red Christmas show. I think that was 2 years ago. Sitting there, they're playing the Colors album, just sitting there like right on the edge of the pit, having a good time, just chilling. Next thing you know, I'm on the ground. Like I just got crowd killed. The craziest part was like it wasn't even like a heavy part of the song. It was like one of like the clean, like slower portions of the song they were playing, and I just get crowd killed to God, and like instantly concussed. I'm just like had to go sit outside for a little bit, and then I was like, all right, I think I can go back out there. I ended up finishing it and end up watching ABR play, but yeah, I got clocked. I think that was like my 7th or 8th concussion. I don't know. I lost track at this point.
You texted me. You were like, dude, I'm so pissed. I was like, what's up? And you're like, I just got hit Between the Buried and Me. I was laughing so hard at my phone, dude. Everybody was like, what is so funny? I was like, you wouldn't understand, but if you did, you would be absolute tears right now. This is crazy.
I guess it was a legit sort of situation going on. So Between the Buried and Me. So,
yeah, I was the buried at that point.
that was actually this one. They were doing 2 albums actually. They did the Coma Eclectic album and Alaska. So
Nice.
Coma Alaska, as they were calling it. So,
That's pretty sweet.
That'd be sick.
oh yeah, it was totally a great show. But damn it, I really wish they played an encore because when they came to Pittsburgh, it was actually the last leg of the tour. So
Yeah.
So you play Laser Speed, which is fine because you at least completed the whole Alaska album. But you could have fit one more in there just because it was the last show. So
yeah, for real. Give us a little bit. Come on.
Yeah. Well, besides getting knocked out, they were really good. I enjoyed it, except for that one moment.
And the crazy part was we were seeing that was when we were seeing Gideon and Boundaries and like
that was the Kublai Khan year. So like literally like right before that, Kublai Khan was up and
that's right, dude.
Was fine.
That memory's
Kublai Khan would get knocked out there in Between the Buried and Me. I was like, man, what the heck?
That memory's been deleted from my head. Dude, I forgot Kublai Khan went there and completely like melted because they were playing like Swan Song and stuff like that.
They played Ant Pile twice in a row. They're like, Santa just called.
yeah, I do remember that.
Santa just called. He said this song's so nice, we gotta play it twice. Here's Ant Pile.
Dude, I forgot about that, dude. They didn't have the new album out yet, so they only had Ant Pile, and everybody wanted an encore, and they're like, okay, we're just gonna play Ant Pile again. They didn't even stop. They just kept going. They played the riff again, and then like 2 more times while he was talking, and they just broke it down into it again. And then they played it like slower. Oh my gosh, dude, that was perfect. Oh, I forgot about that, dude. That was so good. I ran
out of ideas, so yeah.
Dude, I have a flash drive of every show that we've taken videos at, and I just upload them from my phone. So I know I'm going to open it, and it's just going to be like a trillion files from random shows of us just getting like destroyed. Like at the Bullet for my Valentine's show at the Trivium part. Like, dude, there was a whole bunch of stuff. Like my phone got dropped and then it got kicked and then picked up and then handed back to me and then dropped again and then kicked to the other side. I was like, dude, if you pick it up, just have it. Honestly, I'm tired of chasing it, dude. You can keep it. I'll tell you the password.
Actually, you know what? I was set to actually see Trivia and Bullet for my Valentine this year and all the things. One, we actually got hit with those real bad storms. I don't know if they came out Harrisburg's way, but I unfortunately got hit with a real bad cold. I mean, I was debilitated. I couldn't go. So,
dude, it was a great show, but I think the time that I saw them before was the best time that I've ever seen them. That's when they played Hearts Burst into Fire for like the first time randomly after like 7 or 8 years. I think I ran over like 10 people and then got to the front and I was like crying my eyes out, dude, screaming. Security's like trying to pull me over the ledge and I'm like fighting them off. I'm like, no, I want to stay. I want to stay.
Yeah, that show was just a huge nostalgia hit for me because The Poison was actually the first album that I ever like bought myself. It was between 3 Days Grace 1X and The Poison. I'm just sitting there. It was like, that was my journey to really get into metal was The Poison. So that was a big nostalgia hit for me. But honestly, I was more impressed with Trivium's production than what Bullet was able to do. I mean, they both killed it, but Trivium definitely seemed to go more all out as far as the production value.
Especially calling it a co-headliner too.
Yeah.
So like you got to match that energy, and I feel like you're Bullet for my Valentine. You got all the money in the world, charging $80 for a hoodie. Come on now, let's get like a giant foam freaking heart and put a sword through it and have like some vines and like do something cool. But all they did was like strobe. So I don't know. They played good.
Yeah, it still sounded great. But yeah, the production I expected a little bit more.
But we saw him at a good venue too. We saw him at a really good venue.
I think I was just more pissed because Trivia was doing the Ascendancy album.
It could be that, dude. Pull Harder definitely made me do things in that mosh pit that I probably could not have ever done without the Ascendancy being on. So and honestly, like they just weren't bad at all. There was nothing I could complain about. Like, and Paulo being the bass player doing all that stuff with his fingers is just something that makes me upset about myself, but you know, it's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, I think Trivium's actually going to be coming through Lancaster here. I think within the next couple months.
Yeah, I seen on another headliner. Maybe I'll hear Shogun. Some drops, some B standard.
Be interesting, but I think kind of like how all the remains went. It seemed like everybody expected Trivium to kind of keep that Ascendancy and what was it, Embers to Inferno from their first album.
Yeah, I mean, Ascendancy was definitely one of those like metalcore staples for me growing up too. And then they dropped Shogun. It was definitely a little bit different, but I mean, the 7-string stuff that they did too was phenomenal. They're actually one of the first bands I've seen live. It was like Mayhem Fest 08. It was Trivium, All That Remains, Killswitch Engage. Slayer was headlining. Bullet was the headline. Who else was there? Marilyn Manson. I mean, that was a stacked year for Mayhem Fest. So I remember when we just showed up, like Trivium was just playing Down From the Sky. So that was like my first actual like live metal music experience, which was awesome.
And that was my first crowd surf too at Blue Ridge when they played to dude, what were they playing? Not in Waves. Dude, I can't remember it.
Not in Waves?
No, not in Waves. It's the other huge riff that they have. But I can't think about it because mainstream, so I don't listen to it.
They have so many huge riffs, it's hard to pick.
Well, I know In Waves is actually their encore. I think that's what they did for their encore.
Yeah, yep.
It was so sick just spinning around and seeing like literally people so far back because they had them on a side stage for whatever reason. They did that to Lamb of God too. They put Lamb of God on a side stage and I was like, what? And like they had pyro and everything, so it was like kind of dangerous if you think about it. But I was there for it. I didn't know anybody there. All my friends just were not checking their phones, so I was just chilling there, like 3 rows away, getting my face melted by pyro. Everything was just burnt. But that's awesome when I saw Currents when they were playing their old stuff and they had like a crowd of like 30 people. So now when I see them, it's like, ha, joke's on you boys.
Blew up.
Eventually got to it. Yep. So, all right. Those are all great shows right there. So, let's go jump into the gear because I'm seeing a bunch of stereos right there. So I'm curious if it's like a replica of like the alarm clock SpongeBob had with that big horn blowing in his ears.
He's the one that has all the gear, dude. I don't have shit for gear.
He's a gearhead. So yeah.
I don't have a lot of gear, but when I play on the album, I use plugins, which is actually hilarious because I replicate a guitar player that I know that plays in another band that I play for. He has a dual rec, so I use a dual rec. But this year is my first tube amp that I ever got. That only went up in value. I think I got it at like 700 and something in the 900 range. But it's like a nice 40 watt that gives you a cool little, has reverb in it, gets clean, and my pickups are super high output anyways. But it's a good platform to hit with, like, I was thinking about maybe a Diesel VH4 preamp, and then August Burns Red actually has their own distortion pedal that I want to try out. But I don't know. I kind of want to flip over. I have a 412 Laney stack that could use a little bit of dual rectifying. So I might slap a head on that and go 412s on that. And Mick Thompson from Slipknot has signature 112, so I might go half of those and then half the OG ones. I don't know. Laney's a really hair metal-y kind of sound, but that head is just the dual rec head is just so massive on the bass side that it outdoes everything. It doesn't even matter. There's no point. So that's a goal. That's what guitar tone I use. And then on the album I was using Ampeg and Dark Glass all the way, just different whatever compression settings felt better, making the compression ratio more compressed if I needed to be louder, and then if I wanted to smooth out, back it up. Definitely a lot of limiter work, getting like refining that bass to the specific sound. And we also focused a lot on not using other plugins, but using the effects that other plugins do, but using plugins that are only that effect. So if we knew we were going to use a gate, maybe not use a gate from another plugin that we use, but just like the stock gate from Apple, or for me, it would be Reaper. So it was just so much learning and so much time and effort and everything, but it paid off because I remember just playing some of those songs and just having like a real moment, like if we get this under control and we get to the point where we can put stuff out consistently, like that could be dangerous for people. Like we could get really, really good at it. So we just kept going and going and going and going, and slowly everything's starting to fall together. I wouldn't say we're masters by any means, but I would like to say that we're above average. I mean, that'd be safe to say, maybe. Depends who you talk to. Shout out to Joey. He's probably above average. We're probably like mid. But
yeah, pretty much all I'm running. I mean, I use Logic for all the recordings. I pretty much just do a DI tone with archetype Nolly. I've been using that, and my buddy Alex, he gave me like a ridiculous amount of IRs to use. Like he gave me like over like 500. So like there's no way I can even go through all of them. So just using a lot of the stuff that he gave me, and a couple other different guitar plugins and stuff like that. STL Control Hub's been really pretty much what we use a lot as far as getting like the tones dialed in and getting the mix right. But yeah, at this point I'm just have like a little Volt interface, like a 4-piece 4-input interface, just running that with I'm playing a Schecter, what is it, a C1 Exotic. Fucking love the thing. It's beautiful, plays like a dream. And then as far as the drums go, I have a was it a Simmons kit with the it's like a Simmons kit with the extended tom, and then you can use like the rims as far as like the extra cymbals and stuff. So I plugged that in, and then I've been using Get Good Drums, the P5 kit for that to get the sound. But
I forgot to talk about the bass, dude. Bass is actually where all the magic was. Schecter Omen active, but I took out the pickups, I hot rodded it to Fishman, and just toned it hot all the way, so it's just 100% all the time. And it just links up so well with Dark Glass. Dark Glass handles the high end, and we started tone splitting too, so on top of that, there's just so much cool stuff that's going on in bass tone world. But yeah, we're Schecter fans, dude. I don't know.
Big Schecter.
I don't know why, but we're Schecter boys, even though that's my PRS, but
I could think Sinister
Schecter.
That's pretty cool. So I guess whenever you are recording the materials, do you do it more at AJ's house or is it more at your house, Malik?
More at my house. I got the whole basement set up where I got my acoustic drum kit set up, my electric kit, all the guitars, dual monitors, pretty much everything that we need down there to have a good writing and recording session. So yeah, he usually comes over and we'll spend like hours. We'll come over
I think 6 hours is the minimum, probably.
Yeah, it's like putting in another work shift essentially. Got to clock
in overtime. So
yeah, pretty much clock in, put in the overtime.
But the cool stuff is like when we play live, you have everything on the laptop now. So, and you have four outs. So, or you have 4 ins rather.
4 ins, 4 outs. Yeah.
So that puts us in a really good place playing live. Otherwise, I would have to bring over my whole computer with my interface and all my cables and power supplies and HooDDs and all that fun stuff, and then hope that I don't accidentally chip my monitor that I already did, even though I paid $5,000 or $3,000, however much it was, whatever. But the travel to your crib is definitely the time where I'm listening to what I want to sound like for the day. What do I want to sound like for today? That's when I'm playing the counterparts, the architects, the everything that I want to sound like today. That's what we're bumping. Because the ride to your house is a whole nother experience for me. It's just me with all my gear in the back, and then we're just bumping Holy Hell or anything, dude, anything, whatever the vibe is.
Infinite Annihilator.
Infinite Annihilator, yo. I did get to see Diggy Allen live. That was the craziest thing I've ever seen. It was a broken down bar in Easton, PA, and it was Crown Magnetar, somebody else, and Dickie Allen's band. And I don't know what I expected, but they all came out with mullets, wearing coveralls, and they literally only played 2-step music. That was the only thing they played. For an hour, they just 2-stepped everybody. And they were unloading gear for that. I'd be like, dude, I'm just playing house gear. If that's all I'm doing, if I'm just slamming around, I'm playing house gear.
It's just I call it thumping whenever you hear that bass drum you hear, maybe for the rap hip hop and that sort of deal.
Oh yeah.
It's the boom, and then it's almost then you get metal. It's
yeah, the big snare bombs and bass slides and bass drops and
bass drops.
We're heavy on some bass drops.
I love them.
We were listening to Impending Doom Murderer, and we were trying to figure out how many bass drops were in that song because there was a trillion. There's 20 something.
Yeah, it was towards the end breakdown. It was literally every 10 seconds a bass drop would hit. It was crazy.
And it was overkill, and in the critic in you wants to be oh, that's overkill, but you're having fun. You're having fun. That's all it is. It's fun. So we definitely took some inspo for that. We're bass dropping everything. It's just so fun. I don't know how else to say it.
Thank you, Impending Doom. So there you go.
Dude, Impending Doom, shout out. The OGs, man, they're crazy.
Yeah. I guess jumping into challenges real quick. I guess what challenges do you guys feel like you face these days, being musicians at all?
Just trying to come up with new stuff. Honestly, I feel like, especially playing for like as long as we have, and just kind of listening to more like the same genre, like, and not, if you don't like force yourself to kind of expand to what you listen to, you can really get caught in a rut of just playing the same kind of stuff. So that's kind of like the biggest challenge at this point. Like now that this album's done, like we're already talking about what we want to do next, and now it's just kind of like trying to branch out a little bit more and expand the kind of musicality that we want to do with it. So just trying to be original, not bite off other people's stuff too much and not sound too generic. So that's definitely like the most difficult part, just trying to keep that originality and come up with something new.
I would say our originality is really good. We tend to overdo ideas. Like we think about ideas a lot, and we'll record ideas, and then we'll record on top of ideas, and then we'll record on top of ideas, and then all of a sudden we got a lot going. Yeah, it's exactly like a cake, on top, and then we got to kind of figure out what we want to delete. So I think from going on, we have a way smoother process. We have more things figured out and how to deal with that. Not, I don't want to say anxiety, but definitely stress of how we're going to make it sound good and where we're going to put everything out and like really nerd out about it. Like now we have everything kind of under control, so it's not going to be as much stress. It's definitely going to be a lot of stress again, for sure. I definitely don't doubt that at all. But honestly, that's been the only real challenge, is kind of like having the idea of what we want and then applying it to actually get it out of our system and onto a physical audio workshop, because it's just like it gets lost in translation sometimes, especially when across people, and then he'll go home and then I'll go home and then he'll write something different and I'll write something different, and it'll all work together. But maybe we separate it, maybe we leave it combined. It just opens up so many opportunity. But we don't have egos. There's no like, hey, this is my band, we do this way. Like, we literally don't care. We just play music and we don't clash heads on anything. So personality wise, we don't really struggle at all with anything, which is surprising coming from fellow Pennsylvania. You know how it is. But yeah, I would say we got it together and everything just went as smooth as it could go. I couldn't have asked things to go any smoother, and then we just kind of kept building on from that and not stopping that forward momentum. So personalities got along great. The music came a little bit later. We definitely got to kind of get our feet, but once we figured out, okay, we're just going to be weirdos, then it was like, all right, I know it. Then I'll figure it out. So he also playing with somebody that plays outside of 4/4 too, especially with me being a dumb 013 caveman Kubla Khan guy. Playing 6/4 and counting, I usually am a feel, so he's definitely taught me how to count and like do the actual music side, so I know what I'm doing versus feel. So I mean, I got no complaints over there.
You know, he's being humble when he's saying we're a bunch of weirdos. So,
us Tool fans know what we're talking about.
I guess so. So it's gonna be weird in a respectful way. So, yeah. All right. And then just one more question, and we'll jump into some extra phone ones here. Did this guy who made the logo for you from Fiverr, did he use AI? Or I don't know if you guys use AI or anything else for your music.
As far as I know, he didn't use AI. There was no indication to me that he used it. I mean, he described the process pretty thoroughly when he was describing everything he did for it. I mean, looking at the actual like artwork up close, it almost looks like an oil painting kind of, which I thought was really sick. So as far as I'm aware of, he didn't use AI.
It's beautifully painted.
Yeah, because that was like I used a AI to kind of generate a general idea of what I was looking for, to like try to visualize it, because I'm not like an artistic person at all. Like if I were to try to even like draw what I was thinking, It'll literally just be stick figures and like stuff like that. Like I'm not artistic in that sense at all. So AI definitely helped as far as like getting an idea of what I wanted to look like. But yeah, I wanted to actually pay somebody to use their artistic vision to get it done. I think he did a great job, honestly.
Yeah, keep that human element. Yeah. But I guess, so what do you guys make of AI these days, just in general? I guess a little too invasive or double-edged sword?
I'm not the biggest fan. Like I said, I just use it for like kind of generating those ideas, what I was looking for as far as the album art. But like other than that, I just don't touch it. I don't know.
Actually, I don't know what I would do without Grammarly.
Oh, dude, I just
Grammarly in college is pretty helpful. I'm not gonna lie, even though statistically AI is wrong like a really large percent of the time. Like a very large percent of the time, like even the AI knows it's wrong.
I'll just lie to you. I'll be like, hey, you just like told me something completely false. I'm like, oh yeah, sorry about that.
My bad. We'll fix it in the next revision.
Your loss, not mine. But
Yeah. I mean, it has its place, but I'm sure it's going to outgrow its place just like everything else, and then we'll be stuck with AI all over the place. I mean, I already thought that having screens on your fridge was pretty crazy. You're telling me I can see what's in my fridge without even opening it? Like, that's insane. And I can swipe on it, and I can, like, gamble on it. You can, like, open apps on it and, like, do stuff. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, but now you got like artificial intelligence that are like writing full-on songs, which is like insane to me. But like I listen to it, I'm just like, you can just tell there's no soul behind it.
But that's the thing. You're always going to be able to tell, I think. I don't know if it's ever going to be able. It's kind of like that analog versus digital thing. Like if you take a direct that's digital and analog, they're going to sound the same, but you're going to have two crackle from your analog one. So is it really the same? So I don't know. It's interesting to see what is gonna go, because I feel like it could go like kind of all right and then kind of not all right at all.
actually, it's funny when Malik talks about feel. Like, when it's back to like the new battle, for instance, too. It's always like when I try to hold on a scream, all of a sudden it's like I can't hold it anymore. Oh, and like it's always like, oh, I heard myself screaming or something. So
Yeah.
that's a fact to it. But I can see Malik's point in that. So
I'm interested to see what it does for the music industry, because honestly, I don't think it can get any worse since Spotify came around. So
it can get worse.
why would you say that? Now you know it's going to happen.
Definitely could get worse, but I don't know. I think the whole thing with like music, and it's like in its form, it's just so inherently human to like have AI make it. It just kind of takes away that whole point of like the human experience. I mean, because it's just a way to convey those emotions and like those lived experiences that AI is just not able to do. I mean, it can take what other people have experienced and try to convey it that way, but it's not real.
well, that's why we love vinyl so much.
Yeah,
because it's a physical representation of something that you know that
ritual that you got to go through to actually do it.
It is a ritual, especially if you have a clear top one. Like me, I have a clear top one somewhere, and I'm always cleaning it off, even though I never listen to it. It has my Via by Volumes record on it. I just never, or my I Killed the Prom Queen one. That's like 1 out of 233 that I never like even let anybody see. Just tuck it away there. It is a ritual though. It's kind of culty if you think about it. Crazy.
At least you have something in case he runs up against a bad medical bill at one point. So
Yeah.
you sell that away.
I have some vinyls that'll go. I got some of the Darko vinyls when they first started. Like, hey, we're gonna come out with vinyls, and those things have only gone insanely up, which sucks because my Starfire one, the one that they just did, is really cool, but my other one is just black, so it's just Darko. But Discog says otherwise. Discog says I'm complaining is what the number says. But I'm never gonna get rid of it. Because I buy vinyl because I listen to it. I'm not really a collector. I just happen to listen to stuff that is collectible. So I have a lot of vinyl. Emily gives me vinyl too, so.
I was going to say, after he's gone, his kid's going to sell it and he's going to take the money and run. So, yeah.
Yeah, for real. He's going to be like, what the heck was he listening to? This stuff is crap. eBay, $500? Oh my gosh. Yo, we're going to the beach.
Yeah, dude. My vinyl like collection is so like all over the place, dude. Too. Like I got like Trivium, both my Valentine, the counterparts, and then next thing you know, I'm throwing on Fleetwood Mac Rumors and Miles Davis, the Blue album, some Frank Sinatra. It's all over the place.
That's how I am. I'm like, Kulikan, state champs. And my mom is like, what is going on? But
Just difference of taste. So, yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't really think that we differ in taste. So it's really easy for us to write together. So that's super dope.
Yeah. Let's keep that magic alive. So we'll see what happens. So fingers crossed. Let's not turn this into a Skynet conspiracy, as I've been saying in some of my other interviews.
No, I'm sure it'll be good. Yeah, I mean, we're definitely looking forward to the writing the 7-string stuff. I'm gonna have to dig deep in my bones here too, because I already know, like, for vocal wise, it's gonna be like a monstrosity. Like, I already have that mindset. I'm
We're
going
gonna be on the 6-layer vocals.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Octave drop, octave drop, octave drop.
It's gonna be fun. No, I'm excited.
Bass drop.
Yeah,
Bass drop.
Well, it's every 10 seconds. Every 10 seconds, there's just a
Bass drop, pig squeal. Bass drop, pig squeal. Bass drop, pig squeal.
Now we're peeling flesh. Now we're missing his samples at that point. And we just download some nice samples, throw it in there. Now we're a slam band.
Actually, if you're doing a peeling flesh for a style right there, you need someone to do a little rap style when it gets to it.
Yeah, Malik, get ready to rap. I want to see you write some rap lyrics. I know you listen to J. Cole, so you better be spitting fire.
Yeah, you know, I used to dabble a bit. Not as much now, definitely.
Back in the day, right? It's a no deal.
Just a freestyle.
Yeah. Actually, I was trying to think, it was like, I thought there was like a TV show. I forget it was like MTV, or I guess it was like some sort of channel. I can't think of that TV series. It was like Yo Mama, and they would like tell Yo Mama jokes and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
It was like freestyling Yo Mama jokes, just roll with it, and then win $10,000 or something.
Dude, that would be insane to win money off of that. What? Just roasting somebody, like, okay, you're pretty good at roasting.
Yeah, just tell somebody too. Yeah, I won $10,000 off your mama.
Zing got him 10K. Here we go. Building the rig.
It's like, I give up. All right, have it. So, all right, but tread carefully with the whole AI deal. And just real quick, what social media and streaming platforms are you guys on, so I can check out your music and interact with you guys?
Yep. So we're on Facebook. We got Instagram that AJ has the access to for that. I just made a Twitter account like 2 days ago. Probably should have had that for a while. But just got that. And then we're streaming pretty much everywhere that you can stream: Apple, Spotify, Amazon, what was it, Deezer, Pandora, all that fun stuff. So wherever you can stream, we're there.
Yep. And our Instagram is Otrera PA. It's just OTRERAPA, all lowercase. And you can come see all the fun shenanigans of us yelling words at computers because we don't know how to play instruments properly.
And then some early guitar takes too of some of the solos that took me 50 plus times to do, and all that fun stuff.
Watch me torture myself. So yeah.
Yeah, literally. And that's what
One video was like, I must be like a masochist or something, because like I literally am hating that this is the 100th time I'm trying to do this solo, and literally, as I said, I actually nailed it that time. I was like, thank fucking God.
he showed it to me. I was like, hey, look, you did it. Let me see that take counter.
Yeah, just takes up the whole screen.
All right. Well, congratulations there, boys. So also congrats on a new album too. So
Thank you.
Thank you.
all right. So we're almost out of time, but I guess let's brief through the fun questions here real quick. So ready?
Yeah, it's good.
All right. So we'll start here with the first one. I'm curious if there's a particular dish I haven't heard about yet in your neck of the woods, but what would you say is currently your favorite food?
I mean, I'm a simple dude when it comes to food, man. I'd love just a nice medium rare steak, man. That's top. But if I'm feeling a little fancy, I do like a nice little seafood pasta. I like to cook and stuff too, so that's kind of where I'm sitting at right now.
Oh, dude, give me medium wings all day from everywhere. That's all I need. I'm good. And bone in, bone out don't matter to me. I don't care if they're chicken nuggets or not. They taste good.
I'm gonna say it's mainly chicken nuggets and they just dip it in sauce. That's pretty much all they do. They look at the Buffalo Wild Wings style ones.
They're big boy nuggets.
Big nuggies.
Once you do in one bite. So, yeah.
Yeah, for real. Don't even 2 bites now. Okay, it's already bad enough that they're boneless. Like you gotta do it in 1 bite for sure. 100%.
Actually, I would say one of my cousins actually introduced me to. They call it the wing slide. You just put like the whole wing in your mouth and then you just pull it out when it's like.
Oh yeah, I'm a pro. I do
Yeah,
I would say I've had a couple scary experiences trying it a couple times, but I mean, like I got it down at least. But it's like I'm always worried it would be like one little strand just gets in the wrong spot or something.
Oh, so. Just accidentally slips, the whole thing goes down.
I was gonna say it kind of sounds like it could go a little wrong, but I'm down for it. Like if it does go wrong, at least I went out like a champ, dude. I didn't go out like a loser, bro. I was slurping a chicken wing. Leave me alone, dude. Write it down on my tombstone.
A nice little epitaph for AJ. So, here lies AJ, killed by a wing.
Death by chicken wing, dude. I'm down for it, bro.
I guess so. I was gonna say chicken side or something. Nah, probably not. So, something with homicide involved with it, but unfortunately, the thing's not alive to do anything.
Nope, nope. It's just strictly me being a vacuum cleaner.
Just revenge from the grave.
A ghost. So yeah.
You'll hear me breaking glass around the house. It'll be the same light bulb that falls every single time. The same light bulb cover. Your mom will be like, "Why am I getting 5 light bulb covers?" I'm like, "Yeah, AJ just won't stop knocking them down."
He ate a chicken wing 3 months ago. He keeps knocking my lights out.
Paranormal Activity starring Malik from Otrera.
Dude, it would be so obvious, dude. It would be so obvious if I was haunting you. It'd be so obvious. You would not be able to not tell the things that I would do to you, bro. You would not be able to not tell. It wasn't me for sure.
Maybe Molly's standing in the corner of the room right there while Malik's trying to get it on with his girl.
Yeah. Dude, stop playing Smoke on the Water, you asshole.
I'm trying to. I'd steal your strap locks and hide your strap locks. Nobody plays with strap locks. I would do evil things to you, bro. Pause.
Appreciate it.
Still love you, brother. I want to make sure you come with me beyond the grave. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Don't forget about me.
All right. But since you guys were mentioning a good amount of horror stuff right here, I guess is the horror genre kind of like your favorite movies? Or I guess what's your favorite TV series too, if you want to throw one in?
Yeah, when I was working for home for a bit there, I'd always just throw on like a shitty horror movie. Like, I don't know, they're just entertaining. Like, like exactly what's gonna happen, but like there's always just like this little twist or whatever. Some of the dialogue is just so bad that it's funny. I don't know. My dad was always really into the horror movies, so I just kind of picked that up from him. But definitely love the slashers and all the supernatural kind of stuff.
I definitely love Saw. It's like my favorite because it's just so random. It's like, hey, find this random thing in this pile of dirty needles. It's like, I guess, like, why am I even here in the first place? why am I in this changed room?
The funniest thing about the first Saw, like, so you can like see on the cell phone that it was like 9/10/2001. It was like, dude, even if they get out of it, they're gonna have a bad day tomorrow.
They were giving it away the whole time.
They probably were.
I guess. So I should remember. I thought Saw 1 and Saw 2 were definitely good. Then they started getting a little too gory, like 3 and onwards. But it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Just picturing the situation.
For gore's sake, yeah.
There was one that I saw. Not the last one, the one before the last one that I saw that I hated. It just sucked so bad. I just didn't like the way it ended. It was like, I'm dead. Never mind. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't see that coming at all throughout the whole entire movie. I was like, oh my goodness, here we go again. And then of course after that, there was another one. I was like, okay, first 3, I'm done. That's it. That's all it takes. Or Final Destination. That's pretty chill. That's pretty random. Only the first couple ones though.
I still won't drive behind tractor trailers that are carrying any logs or anything like that. I'll
do it if I'm a passenger.
Oh, dude! Even if I'm the passenger, I'm like, you need to pass this truck right now. Can't do it.
We are getting the fuck out of here right now. So, yeah. I don't care if there's a cop car right there. I am speeding past this guy.
I would just explain to him, like, hey, have you ever seen Final Destination? You understand. I'm not driving by.
If you know, you know. So,
yeah, well, not if he's like, all right, he's got a point. We'll let him go.
I am not crazy. So,
yeah, we'll let him go.
So, all right. Did you mention a TV series at all? I don't know if you want to share one or not.
It's Always Sunny, by far and away one of my favorites.
Yeah, we watch that a lot.
Love Sunny. My fiance actually got me watching Supernatural like a couple years ago, and I'm on my 4th time rewatching that now. But other than that, yeah, Sopranos, love it. I've watched The Wire a bunch too. Game of Thrones, minus that last season. We forget about that season.
Yeah, throw it away. But I've heard things.
That's our stuff. So, I'm sorry, I know you mentioned about Sopranos too, Game of Thrones. Oh yeah, Supernatural. Yeah. What'd you think of that? What'd you think of the crossover with them and Scooby Doo?
I thought it was funny. I didn't see it coming. I don't know. I thought it was entertaining. But they do a lot of kooky stuff on that show too. It's like, I was like, once you first put it on and had me watch, I was like, okay, I feel like this is gonna be another one of your corny shows like Vampire Diaries, and then I was like, oh, this is actually kind of badass. They're just out here killing demons and monsters the whole time. Like, cool. I can get down with that.
Speaking of, incoming message from Supernatural Entity. Yeah. And I guess AJ, did you want to share something, or are you pretty much all out, Malik?
Dude, I know. I give me Saw over everything because I'm an original, and that's what anybody would say. I don't watch TV. Monday Night Football, actually, that's my favorite series. Monday Night Football.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, hello, AJ. I want to play a little game. So,
well, yeah, I guess so. Why not? I mean, I guess I'll go to this random concrete room.
Or try to use a little scalpel to remove the key behind your eye.
Oh, that's it. All right.
Yeah, that's all I got to do. I might do it for fun. Don't they do that on Fear Factor? Don't do that on my show Fear Factor.
I think, man, these day and age, we really got desensitized. So,
yeah. Oh my god, for real.
Yeah.
Evolution.
Oh, great choices there. So, I guess in terms of the alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks, I guess which ones would you consider your favorites from each category?
I love me a nice whiskey ginger ale. That's probably my go-to as far as alcoholic beverage, and then root beer. I love a nice cold. Love a nice root beer. I don't know why I said it like that, but
Now I think of the gecko from the gecko commercial would be like root beer or something. try to cover up that British accent. So.
I just didn't know what I was expecting you to say, but it wasn't root beer. I don't know what I was expecting it.
Dude, root beer slaps, man.
Oh my gosh. For me, I'm actually sober 1 year today. Woo! I'm already crazy enough. But dude, a nice Red Bull. That's all a man needs in life. Sugar-free Red Bull for me because I drink a lot of it. So I know that I'm just trying to watch out a little bit, see if my heart can take a little bit. But give me a nice Red Bull, or what am I always drinking at the studio? Coffee. A lot of coffee.
Yeah, you always show up with a
AJ runs on Dunkin'.
Conglomeration of Dunkins. I was just like,
AJ runs on Dunkin' for sure.
it's probably like 16 things of cream and so much caramel syrup. I don't know, dude.
I didn't tell him, give me a large. I don't tell what to put in my cup. I'm just like, fix me up one, please. And they're like, aye, aye, Captain. I mean, I don't know. They could be, maybe.
Yeah, AJ runs on Dunkin' for sure.
I do. I can't help
We'll be right back after this word from our Dunkin' sponsors. So, yeah.
Oh, for sure, dude. I'm always slamming Dunkin'. Dunkin' might be my final answer over Red Bull, to be honest.
Maybe Kryptonite too, if we take it away from them, though. So.
See, that's the thing. If I don't have access to Red Bull, it could get interesting. But I don't know. If I don't have access to Dunkin' right now because they're remodeling it, and I'm not driving 30 minutes over to the next town. So I'm doing okay with that. So I don't know. Could be Edge Red Bull. I don't know. We're seeing. It's a study I'm partaking in all by myself.
Well, it's like if it comes to the day, Malik, run far away. So, yeah.
No, there has been a couple times where like he's coming over. I could tell he's just like not fully in. I was like, all right, dude, I'm grabbing you an energy drink. We're
For sure, there are times where I'm like, we just even not drinking, just being out late and going to the record tired. It's just like dead zombie. But boy, sometimes when I sit in the chair, gently places the base on my lap, and I'm drooling. He's like, okay, are you ready to play now? And I'm like, and then somehow come up with something that doesn't suck. It sounds pretty good.
It sounds like we have to like put it in the gas tank, and then we just gotta feed it to AJ afterwards.
Pretty much. My gas tank runs on anything that contains over 150 milligrams of caffeine. I think that's the threshold.
R.I.P. to all the Monster, Dunkin' Donuts, and all those guys. So, yeah.
Hey, I see all the old bulls drinking Red Bull, so like if they're still alive, I'm good. I think.
Be careful what you wish for.
yeah, right, dude.
Yes. Okay. All right. Yeah, the last fun questions here. I guess which bands have you been listening to recently?
Ooh.
Oh, what have I been listening to recently?
What?
You've been listening to Dog Bark.
Yeah, that's a lot of it. Max, chill out, dude. I don't know. Delta Sleep, honestly. Probably one of my favorites, but I don't know. Honestly, I haven't really been listening too much over the last couple months because I've just been doing a lot of our stuff and listening to podcasts. I haven't really listened to too much new stuff, but yeah, Delta Sleep, definitely my go-to band at this point to listen to. They're just super chill, talented guys.
I have I have two interesting ones. One's not interesting if you know me, but Boundaries for sure is just the absolute pinnacle of everything that could be in a band. They are the chillest guys ever, and everything they put out is just insanely great. Give me Counterparts, and then one new one that I've been listening to that I haven't really. I'm kind of late on the wagon is Animate. I saw them back in the day in like the 2013 times. I was like, yeah, this is sick. And then they started putting out new stuff, and then I didn't hear it for a little bit, and then it got mainstream, which made it harder for me to want to listen to. But when I hear Heavener that's in like 3/4 and it has a good groove to it, I'm like, you know what? I think I just missed the wagon on that one. So I got to throw them in there. And they're always grinding too. They are always out playing.
Yeah, no, they're really good. That Heavener album is one of my favorites for sure.
They're always out playing, doing stuff. And we structure a lot of riffs like that too. Like a lot of the old style kind of even like architect-y riffs where like the dissonance is there and the high notes are there, but the low opens are still there and stuff like that, which I guess just evolved into what Invent is now. So I can definitely see why I gravitated towards it, but like just the fact that it was mainstream, I was like, I don't want to listen to it.
Yeah.
I was like poser music, and then I heard it and I was like, fuck, it's actually kind of good.
Yeah, dude, I was telling him for so long, dude, like just listen to it. It's actually fire. Just because they actually blew up off of TikTok doesn't mean it's sucks. They're actually good.
Yeah, I was just not a fan of the boom. I was like, dude, maybe if they were like low key. But then I listened to it and I was like, okay, I get it now. They can get the hype. They can get the hype. But as far as new stuff, that's all I'm listening to. Everything else is just the same stuff I've been listening to since 2010, 2013, 12. My volumes, my old Knocked Loose.
Yeah, well, I just listened to Fleetwood Mac Rumors like the other day, just on vinyl. Listened to that whole thing. So
Led Zeppelin 1 I listened to the other day. That's some pretty cool John Paul Jones moments. But a whole bunch of stuff, man. I couldn't even tell you. A whole bunch of stuff. It's crazy. My catalog makes no sense, and anybody that tries to understand it, good luck. I can tell you.
We'd be here all day. So,
Yeah.
Dude, there's just so much random stuff. Because I can like one song from one person and then never like anything they put out ever again. That totally happens all the time where I'm like, oh, this song's good. And then I go to check it out. And then I'm like, all right, yeah, no, this one is just a good one. That's just how it is. On to the next one. So I got like a lot of songs that I know by weird bands, different bands. But I also didn't start listening to albums until like later, like albums front to back. So if I would have did that earlier, I would have probably did a little better. I remember Periphery 3 was the first album that I was like front to back, and that just happened to be one of their killer albums that wasn't like hyped up for nothing. Like it was hyped up and it was a good drop. So it was a good album to kind of jump in on. And plus, that's where all my production and all the mixing and mastering and all that stuff comes from that band's ability to do the same thing that we're doing. So if somebody else can do it, there's no reason why two other people can't do it. I mean, we can't be the only exceptions. We got to do something right eventually.
probably. So.
But other than that, yeah, that's it for me. I can't wait to see Periphery. I went from seeing them 0 times to like 2 times in 2 months. So I'm ready for that. I'm pretty stoked to get my heart broken by not hearing any old stuff, but it's cool. I'm prepared for it. It's different when you're prepared for it.
I guess. All right. But all great choices there. All right. So, boys, we're down to one more question in my podcast before we jump into it. Would you guys like to ask me any questions real quick?
Yeah, how long have you been doing this? Like, how'd you get into like actually doing like a music podcast kind of thing?
I actually started because of COVID, and I think when I initially started my YouTube channel, it was pretty much all drum covers.
Oh.
So, of course, I suck with the promotion, so you're like not really getting anywhere with just doing that, especially in a saturated market. But started off doing that, but I kept researching about podcasting and all that sort of stuff. I saw also a couple other friends who are also drummers as well. They were doing something similar to like this, where they were having conversations, asking questions. So I figured, you know what, if it's mainly just like a conversation between people, maybe with like a little scripted questions, for instance, I could do it. So 2021, finally launched it, and got a friend of mine from college who was my first interview.
Nice.
And after that, the rest was history.
Sweet.
Nick. I always wondered how, I guess it's because my personality is so different that I don't know if I have the personality to be a podcaster. I feel like that's so crazy. Like, it takes a certain amount of personability to talk to everybody. So just doing that is crazy in itself. That's always something that I've thought about podcasters. Having that ability to talk to everybody is definitely a skill.
For sure.
That's for sure. It takes a little bit trying to get over your introverted side, so that was kind of thing I had to kind of break the mold on.
I feel that for sure. Every single time that I'm about to play in front of people, I'm like, oh god, there we go. Let's not pretend like it's my first time playing an instrument today. But I don't know. We crush out fear pretty easy, pretty quickly. They just tear the Band-Aid off and go out and do it. Find an open mic night or find some friends, group of 4 or 5 friends that are just down chilling, want to listen, and then just do it like you've been doing it for 20 years. And then that kills it too. So I definitely understand that.
All right. Was there anything else? Any other questions?
I'm good.
No, sir.
All right. In that case, we'll go jump into the last question, and Malik, you can go first. So, the way I used to phrase this question was, it used to be mainly in and around COVID, but I think nowadays you're seeing more of the negativity that's kind of going on, whether it's because of media related, like what you're seeing on the news, that sort of stuff. So to help people out these days with some sort of advice or whatever, I guess what would be your message of hope, or if you want to give any advice to musicians and people out there so they could try to move forward with their lives?
I mean, if I had any advice to give to fellow musicians or just really anybody who's looking to keep pushing, move forward and see kind of positivity, is just keep pushing. I mean, shit's hard. I mean, life's hard, and especially, I mean, given all the exterior circumstances and everything else going on in the world, definitely doesn't make it easier. But just trying to like really putting your faith in your friends and family, and just having like a close kind of knit people that you can rely on or at least talk to, and just kind of trying to maintain that hope. And that's one thing that I've been trying to push here, and like especially some of the tracks too, is that you can't let hope die. You gotta have something to look forward to. You gotta want to have that drive to want to better yourself and thus make people around you better as well. So it's really just keep trying, just try to maintain a glimmer of hope, have something to look forward to, and just strive to be a better person each day. I mean, it definitely makes things a little bit easier. It's hard. It's definitely hard, but just trying to find one thing to get better at, and it'll definitely make you a better person that way, just trying to improve. So just don't give up, essentially, especially as like a musician trying to come up. You got to put in the work. You really just got to keep going at it, and you're not going to just get good overnight. You literally have to put in hours upon hours upon hours and learn from your from your mistakes, and just try to get a little bit better each day.
AJ?
I would say you just got to do it every single day. I was brought up, my grandfather was a acoustic guitarist, not into metal at all. He was into the Doors and all the old stuff. But I would always try to pick up his guitars, and he's like, when you pick it up, I'll give you a first lesson. So I could finally pick it up. He gave me a lesson, and that's just something that he always instilled, is the fact that music doesn't owe you anything. So if you don't put in the work, it's not required to provide you anything. So you need to do it consistently every day, because if you're not doing it every day, there's somebody else that is doing it every single day that's going to blow you out of the water when it comes to maybe not every area. You could still be good at some area. You may just not be a strong suit for that area, but when it comes down to everything overall, there's just nothing that will trump doing it every single day and doing it the right way. Obviously, trying to practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. If you're not practicing the right way, then you can just forget it, because you're giving yourself bad habits. But definitely just every single day. Why do you love it? Tell yourself why you love it every single day. Even if you're not playing, you just got to tell yourself, why I do it? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? What do I love about it? And then for me, that's just brings me back to this constant drive to produce a creation that nobody has. And there's a certain feeling that only I have that can be put out into the world. And it's nobody but my own responsibility to create that. And if there's an audience for it, there's an audience for it. And if there's not, there's not. But the whole purpose is to get to the place where you can let everything out. And to do that, you just got to do it every single day. That's my Jack Black speech.
Now we get that nacho. Hey. But nonetheless, spoke like about your true prodigies.
Stop, thank you, man.
Oh, shucks.
But it's a compliment. So yeah.
It is. I appreciate it. We appreciate it for sure. We appreciate the opportunity. And
definitely, I've enjoyed being on here. I mean, I'm glad you reached out. This has been really awesome to do. It's the first time ever doing anything like this. So this is really cool experience. But definitely appreciate you getting in contact with us to get this all set up.
I did mention earlier it was from Facebook, but here's another funny part. There was actually a wine and spirits festival that was in my neck of the woods. So it was where I was at when I sent that initial message. So it was probably a little jacked up on moonshine and a little weird. So.
Moonshine.
We've had plenty of
a good thing to happen from a night of moonshine.
Or at least that's the marketing idea. It's like meant to be moonshine, but it's not authentic moonshine. So it's something like that, but whatever.
Not the West Virginia backwoods moonshine.
Definitely not. There could be a lawsuit on somebody's hands there at that point. So kiss that little.
Yeah, that would not be great.
Kiss that beer making career goodbye, buddy. You're not reaching the Jim Beam. So yeah. But we did have a blast right here too. But I guess before we close out, you want to show off the ink and maybe give any shout outs to anybody?
Counterparts. That's the new album. Boundaries. Realize, Rebuild off of Burying Brightness. And then I got a little Rose back here. Kill Switch Engage. Rose of Sharon.
We'll be here all day with him.
Yeah, I know. Panther on the Knee for Pantera, because Pantera in Spanish is Panther. There's a couple other ones that are all over the place, but yeah, we will literally probably be here all day. Those are the important ones.
Yeah, I got a Devil Wears Prada logo here. I got a little 3-dot for Periphery.
And Boundaries signed a 3-dot.
Yeah, I got the Triforce, little Triforce here. Then I got a owl and Flower of Life. And then as far as shout outs, just like to shout out my family, my fiance Mia, my mom, sister. They're all hugely supportive throughout this entire album process. Couldn't have done it without their support, so they're definitely huge. And shout out my boy Alex Kane. He was also a huge help as far as getting the mixing and everything done and sending me all those IRs and different files. So he was huge. So shout out them.
I do have to admit, Malik, and I'm sorry I got to this a little late, but did you ever watch Practical Jokers? You seriously look like one of them right now.
Yeah, no, I've heard that before. I've heard I look like Sal. Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty striking.
I see it.
I mean, are you sure there's not some sort of relative of his that...
You need to hunt and get the bag, for real. $1 million wouldn't hurt us.
Yeah.
To do that, you gotta be absolutely terrified of cats. So, yeah.
Not a fan of cats, to be honest.
But he's got the traits. Oh, my God, it's Sal. Hey, not to see, but I just wanted to get that out there real quick before we close out. So
That's funny.
Okay. And just last thing for the audience sake, can you just list what social media and stream platforms are on so I can check you out and interact?
Yep. So we're on Facebook at Otrera. We're on Twitter now, just recently this week, at Otrera Band PA. Instagram, Otrera PA, right? Was that what you said?
All over, just right in a row.
And, we're on all streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, Pandora, all those.
YouTube Music, iHeartRadio, wherever your heart desires, we'll be there.
Wherever you can stream it, that's where we are.
All right, sounds good. But to close out like this. Hey everyone, my guests today were Malik and AJ, hail from South Central PA, close to the Harrisburg region right there. They're part of the band Otrera. So you should go hit them on all streaming platforms, all social media and everything here too. These guys are kicking some ass. They are in need of a drummer, so help wanted. So there you go.
For real.
Yeah.
So if you are a drummer, hit these guys up. I think they'll probably kiss you at your feet or maybe give you some sort of kissing on the faces at some point.
We're lucky, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, depends on the footwork.
I think it also depends if AJ is all jacked up with the Red Bulls and stuff. So, yeah.
That is true. That is true. You might get a couple.
All right. Not too crazy. I'll just say that. Don't go French style, I'll tell you that much. So
yeah, no tongue. You got to pay for that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I have
That's extra.
some self-respect going on over here. Only a little bit.
Only a little. Okay. But nonetheless, go with these boys up right here. They're kicking some major ass right there. Let's hope we get back on the road at some point, and also keep your eyes out for any new material. Maybe this year, but we'll see if it comes out next year at some point. So we'll leave it up to these guys. But Malik and AJ, thank you again so much again for coming on here. So y'all do stay safe because there's one pretty messed up world out there. Got God.
Absolutely, brother.
And last thing before we close out, strike a pose. Stay tuned, y'all.